recently I had a little family holiday away and we went up north. I kind of like it up north. It's quite old, it's quite, countryside-y. There's steam trains there. It was a little breakaway with the family, and what this let me do is kind of use it as a little bit of a sort of observation kind of holiday, if you like, where I was able to just, well, basically watch my family, the sort of people that they are, with the sort of mindset that I've got, where I'm just trying to figure out who I am and why I'm put together the way that I am. And straight away, like as we're in the car traveling up the country, the first thing that really hit me is how negative my family are. I suppose it was made really obvious because when we were in the car, I think everybody's a bit different when they're in a car. Everybody turns into a different person. And I noticed this especially with my brother and my mum, and how they would talk about other people in other cars around them. And you kind of get the impression that they thought that they were better drivers than most of the people, which I think is kind of common, really. I think everybody has that sort of thing. But that was when I started to really notice the negativity that they put out. They were very outwardly negative about a lot of stuff, everybody, everything. And I won't lie, even early on, and we're talking like within the first hour of the travel, I was sat there and I was like, this is too negative for me. Which is a bit ironic, I know, because recently I've noticed that I've been backing away from people who are quite negative. And it is very ironic, like I say, because of myself, because of the lows that I've been in. I'm basically not happy with people outwardly being pretty much how I've been for a while. I started to ask a little bit of questions to myself, wondering, am I getting to a point now where I don't want to be surrounded by negative energy? Like, that negativity only brings you down. It only, like, I don't know how to explain it, but that holiday away, when I was looking at how negative they always were, especially to my dad was always on the receiving end of so much negativity. A lot makes sense about how sort of broken that guy is. I mean, it is kind of sad. And I've recently, over the last couple of months, noticed that I have been pretty much actively withdrawing away from people who don't have anything positive to say, who are always negative about everything. What happened throughout this holiday led me to ask some questions. And I'm wondering, are our parameters set before we even get going? Like, realistically? Because what you end up happening with, I kind of noticed how, like, my family are very, I don't know what the word would be, limited maybe to their abilities or their belief or whatever it might be. And I feel like to some degree we're boxed into, you're never going to be able to succeed more than sort of, I don't know how to explain it, your genetics allow. I say genetics, it's not the word that I'm looking for, but I don't know what the word is. There's a lot of time that I feel that I'm not happy with like my situation and stuff in life. And I feel that I obviously am only the one that's in control of being able to do something about that. But when I look at my family, I feel that, am I trying to achieve something that's realistically outside of my realms of possibility, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's a case of, if you want to achieve more than those before you, how limited are you to do so? And I know that there's, obviously the answer to that is like, well, everybody's got the ability to do whatever and achieve whatever. Just look at all these individuals that have come from, really bad kind of upbringings, and then they're able to succeed and stuff. But the vast majority of people, I do wonder if the amount that we're able to overstep that mark is limited. And it does feel that there was times that I was on holiday and I was just watching my family, watching their behavior and how they were and stuff. And I genuinely felt a real sadness inside, because it was like, I felt that I had to accept that no matter what I hoped or what I try to do, I'm always going to be limited by whatever factor it is that predetermines my boundaries. That's a really tough thing to understand, I think, because it feels so strongly within that it's almost like somebody's telling you, no matter how hard you try, you will always be the person that you are. You will always be in the position that you're in. So why try anyway? And that's a cycle that I've noticed a lot recently when I'm trying to gauge of, there's certain things in life that I would like. I would like to be able to move out of the house and be able to afford a house. I don't want to rent. Rent is dead money. I think it's not productive to do so because you're only putting yourself in another different kind of problem rather than you're helping a situation. So something like that, for example, where it's like, I sit there and it's like, okay, what do I need in order to get into that position? And then you just look around, you see the state of the world, the state of the economy. And it's that kind of question of, will it actually ever happen? Am I trying to want a dream that realistically is so far out of reach? It's basically like sitting here saying, tomorrow I'm going to wake up a millionaire. Realistically, that is a ridiculously improbable expectation to have. I don't want to accept it. And I find that it's two weights that are heavily kind of skewing against each other. One is this, well, this is what life is, accept it. And the other is, I don't want to accept it. I really don't want to accept it. Because it's like internally I refuse to accept that this is the position that I'm in and this is what I have to accept. I can't bear that. I don't think that it's true, but I struggle to have the role models or the people in life that I can take that energy from to feel that there is potentially another side to it. I really don't know how to explain the strength and the depth of what it is that I feel, but it feels that I'm really not like my family, which is in itself a struggle because there's that kind of saying that you're supposedly like a combination or whatever of was it 5 people that you spend the most time with? And, I still live at home. Don't get me wrong, I'm quite isolated from my family. I do keep myself out of the way and keep myself to myself, but realistically, that's my genetics, that's my family, that's my blood, that's who I am. But we really don't have anything in common at all. And sometimes I find it kind of difficult to not relate to them, but if I want to share something from what I'm interested in and my point of view, they're just not interested. They're really not interested in like engineering and science and, even conspiracies. Let's go down that road. So I find it really kind of demoralizing to almost be surrounded by people who you just have no similarities with. You can't talk to, you can't bounce things off and whatever else. And I just don't feel that I get the engagement that I wish I could get from my family. I just don't feel that they are stimulated mentally by some of the stuff that I am. It's like when we were away, unfortunately, people fall back into routine and, they'd rather sit there and watch telly rather than have a conversation. Like the amount of times that we just talk as a family is so few and far between. It's just crazy, but I did find it very nice in terms of we did a lot of walking. So I was always out. I was always out walking around the countryside and we got to go some really nice places. And I've never felt more at peace than when I'm just out in the countryside and just chilling. And when I was on a walk one day, part of me was just like, this is what I want to do. This is what I would like life to be, where there are no financial worries. There are no worries about anything. You are just a man in the elements and you're just out to do whatever. And your brain goes, oh, wouldn't it be cool if you could make a little shelter out and just, you know what I mean? Like live like all those outdoorsy types. And something about that just feels really appealing. And then the other side of the brain, just like the reality kicks in and goes, look, you're nearly 40. Stop living in a pipe dream world. Get your head down and just get on with it. Because let's be honest, you're never going to be able to get out of the situation that you're in. You're always going to be kind of low level on the working ladder. You're always going to be earning not enough to do anything with. So just shut up and accept it. And then, like I say, that then kicks in that real determination of I just can't accept it. I don't feel that I'm doing very well in changing it, but I can't accept it. I just can't. But I did have that real sense of wonder about what limits us. I know that realistically, we're limited by our own kind of minds. It's ourselves that stops ourselves from doing stuff, be that we stop ourselves from learning things, we stop ourselves from discovering things, and therefore we put our own boundaries upon ourselves. But it was really interesting the way that I felt when I looked at my immediate family, how negative they were about everything, how much they just almost kind of accept the position that they're in and don't really seem bothered about doing anything about it, and how that made me feel that in the end, am I trying to put all that effort into something that realistically I won't achieve anyway? You know, I notice a lot of people have said on previous videos when I've mentioned about my work ethic and how I feel that my work ethic is, you know, to basically try and work hard and go forwards where other people just turn up, get a paycheck and go. Comments have been like, why do you care that much about that? And it's true, because ultimately both outcomes are still the same no matter how much I work and how much they don't work. The outcome's the same for both of us. I don't know. It's just find it very interesting that it was such a bizarre feeling to experience. I won't lie. It was really such a strange feeling that it genuinely felt that I was almost being forced by my own internals to accept that I should stop just trying and just accept that I'm always going to be a kind of nowhere kind of loser in a way. And look at my bigger brother, look at my mum, look at my dad, like they did all right. My mum and my dad did all right for their time, but nowadays they're just like, it is what it is. My brother just seems like he's accepted that that is his position in life, and it almost in a strange way feels that that's my influence. I'm also supposed to just accept it. This is where it is. Stop trying to swim against the tide, because we, arguably, like as my family, we're not designed to be the outsider. We're not designed to be the one that makes the difference. We're not designed to be the people that have that direction in life. It's like just accept who you are, accept what you are, accept what your limitations are, and just be happy with those limitations. And I just can't. And I was speaking to the counsellor about it, and he said, well, there's one thing for sure, it's your will or your tenacity to carry on is something. And it's like, well, yeah, but is it though? Because at the end of the day, is that just a pointless will? Is that just a pointless, like, energy to try and keep swimming against the tide, when the reality of it is, if I just accept it and try and be happy on what I am, what I do have, maybe my own mindset will be different. Maybe things would look up. But I don't know. I did enjoy the holiday for what it was. There were some steam trains. They were kicking around. And got a couple of videos of those, actually, because, I don't know, I'm a big kid. I grew up going up to that place of the country anyway. I was around those steam trains every time we went up. Love it. Used to be one of those kind of kids that, you know, you play with trains and stuff. So to go up there as a kid and see them, it was great. So it always kind of makes me smile even now when we go up. We always go to the stations. One of the stations was apparently used in Harry Potter. Don't actually know. I've never seen Harry Potter, so yeah. But yeah, the reality of it is, it was a nice holiday. There was just a lot of time spent observing, shall we say, just observing, and then asking myself questions of what my limitations are. Are we limited by, you know, so much genetics, that people are upbringing? How much should we try and fight against that tide? And do you ever win? And I guess you only know if you win if you keep going, right? Because it's never the end. I suppose that's the sort of attitude of the two bosses at work. They're so adamant to make something out of it. One of them has turned around and says, look, I don't have an option. This is my only way of getting money. So this either succeeds or it succeeds. And I suppose it's those two that are kind of more the sort of people that I'd like to be around. They're more driven and they've got that kind of mindset. So it's always interesting in the comparison of that versus like what I'm around at home. But it's hard to look at my family and feel that we're just not, I don't know how to explain it, like we're just not, we just don't have anything in common at all. And I see that when I try to talk to them about stuff. The disinterest and the kind of, oh, look at the shiny thing over there, it just happens so quick. And it does make me feel a little bit sad that I can't talk with many people in my immediate little circle about a lot of stuff because they just don't get it, they're just not interested. And if then I am the kind of, you are the people that you're around, there's a massive internal conflict. It really is. But it was a nice holiday. It really was a nice little time away. It was good to get a break, good to be out in the fresh air, good to walk around. You guys kind of maybe get a little bit of an idea of like how much I enjoy the countryside and just getting out in it. So it was a nice one to do. I hope you're all well. I hope to see you again next time. Peace out. Bye.